Hi guys, this is the first tutorial that I've ever done, so please don't hate on me. Just a couple of notes before we begin. What I do is, throughout the tutorial, I actually, I refer to intervals. I refer to inversions. Now C chord is C, E, G. That's C chord. This is what we call root position, where the bottom note is the root of the chord, C, because it's a C chord. What happens is when you invert it once, this C goes up to the top, so it's C, E, G. This is the first inversion, where the root is at the top. The second inversion is when E goes up. So you'll have C, E, G. So second inversion is where the root is in the middle of the chord. Also, there are notes. There are chords such as these. If you have a look here, it's F sharp minor 7. Any of these chords are assumed to be major chords. One thing that you should note is E bass G sharp, which means it's E chord, E chord, with the bass of G, so your left hand will be playing G sharp. Alright, let's have fun with the tutorial. Hi everyone! So, a while back, I did a song called Ride This Feeling by Kate Miller-Heidke, and I think that was part of my 50 song challenge. And what happened was, fairly recently I actually got a response saying that they would actually, this person would really like to learn how to play Ride This Feeling, and exactly which chords to use and which inversions, how to play it the easiest way possible. Thank you very much for that feedback. This is the tutorial on the easiest way to play Ride This Feeling. As you see, I've got the sheet music. What I'm gonna do is, and I'm sorry for the really awkward angle, but this is the only way that you can see what I'm playing. Anyway, so yes, what I'm gonna do is, I'm going to try and follow the music as much as possible. Now, if you actually do have the sheet music, you'll actually notice that the piano part plays the melody, and I hate that. I hate that, because why am I singing, if I'm playing the melody at the same time? And I find that really irritating. So, tip number 1. Don't play the piano part entirely. Don't play the melody. All you want to do is just play the chords. The second thing is, what's written here, you'll actually notice at the beginning it's F sharp minor, E bass G sharp A. Alright? So it goes, if you have a look at the actual sheet music, you'll actually notice that it will go F sharp minor is in root position, E chord is in first inversion, and then I'll just say that A is in root position, which is fine, right? But then afterwards you've got that little interim there. And what happens is you have to shift from A chord in root position through to A chord in first inversion, and that's just really confusing. So if you want to make it easier for yourself, what you could do is you could go F sharp minor in second inversion. I woke up this morning. Now E chord would be in second position again. second inversion, which will resolve into A chord in first inversion. If you have a look, there's very minimal movement, and that makes it really easy to switch in between chords. I think that always makes things much easier if you can find inversions of each chord to make it really easy to move between. So that way you're not jumping from here to here to here, and you're not jumping. You're just moving a couple of notes. So it's these three notes, and it just moves down a note and then moves back up a note. By doing that, it just makes things much easier to play, and then that way you don't have to really worry about it. However, the music's written in a particular way. You can do that if you want. It's fairly easy. At the beginning anyway. At the beginning, up until the pre-chorus, which is "Ooh, the fire in the gut," up until then, it's all fairly simple. So, I woke up this morning, made a pot of coffee, went out onto the stairs to sit in the sun. I haven't been myself, I know I haven't been much fun, but I woke up this morning and the air tastes different. And I added that at the end. That's actually, I think that is the actual rhythm that is written. But essentially, you've got the chords changing at the beginning of each bar. So, I woke up this morning, made a pot of coffee, I went out onto the stairs to sit in the sun. I haven't been myself, I know I haven't been much fun, but I woke up this morning and the air tastes different. So it's just where the accents are in the phrase is where you change chords. Similarly, you keep going. So it's ooh, the fire in the gut, ooh, that kills the worm that haunts us, ooh, I'm all shook up. And if you have a look, I'm really just improvising with my left hand at this point, but you always want to lead in with that bottom note. And the reason why, this is middle C here, and you want to play it an octave below middle C. So it's not here, this is middle C, but it's actually down here. So you get that really deep bass sound. So, and what I mean by the end note, the bottom note is so that way it's actually the bottom note is the upbeat. It sounds like the upbeat. So bum 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 bum. So this top note is the one that's doing all the accents. And the rhythm that you want, which happens in most pop songs, is this rhythm. Which gives it a very driving feeling. So what you'll hear is I'm not playing what's written. It's just too irritating. Then we'll get into the chorus. And again, I'm not playing what's written. What's written is quite frankly, that just hurts. It's really difficult to be... The accents are on, 2, 3, and it just gets really confusing, particularly when you're singing. So that's not an easy way at all. An easy way to go about it is just go 5-1, 5-1, 5-1, 5-1. So... that way, me just tell you straight off the bat, it's very tiring. But yeah. In terms of your right hand, what I did was the first time I went through the chorus, because you want it to build. So the first time I went through the chorus, I just played the chords on the first beat of every bar. So it'd be sorry, let me start again. It's actually very simple. But then the second time around, when you do the second chorus, you want to build on it more. So as I said, with that pre-chorus, the rhythm that you want, that was the pre-chorus one, and that was more elaborate because you're building up to something. So with the pre-chorus, you're building up to the chorus, whereas with the chorus, you want it to be a bit simpler, so that because you know that you're already there. So now it's just really driving. And the rhythm that you want to do in the second chorus, because you want to build, right, is. So if you have a look at my right hand, that's the rhythm that I'm gonna play. So. You'll also notice that my right hand is barely moving. Again, I'm using the inversions as a way to make it really easy to switch between chords. So it'll be what they've actually got written down for F sharp minor 7 is E, A, B for the right hand. So I actually go, that's E, moving down to D chord, and then A, first inversion. So, which is really E sus, but yeah. So E sus for F sharp minor 7, and then all you do is that A resolves to G sharp for that E chord, and then the whole root chord moves down to D root chord, and then it moves to A first inversion. Okay. There's this part where it goes. I don't think it's actually. Oh, it's kind of written in the sheet music, but essentially what I'm doing is F sharp A, and then it's just moving from E D C sharp E D C sharp, and it's the same rhythmic pattern again. So it'd be bum 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 bum. So it's the same rhythmic pattern throughout for the right hand, which makes it really easy. Verse 2 is very similar to verse 1. So all you're doing is, oh actually no, I changed it. It's written a bit more complicated, but all I do is I'm just maintaining a particular rhythm. So I'm going bum 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 bum. So then all of a sudden I knew I was dreaming. For some reason I decided to take off my clothes. Then I jumped off a cliff, just spread my arms and flew all the way across Canada to see you. Sorry. So, yeah. But really, come up with any driving rhythm that you want and just alternate with your right and left hand. Bum, 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 bum. Yeah. Yeah. And if you want, you can very well just go, then all of a sudden I knew I was dreaming. For some reason I decided to take off my clothes. that's fine. So whichever you feel more comfortable doing. There is no pre-chorus between verse 2 and chorus. Then you have the bridge, or it says pre-chorus here, after the second chorus. So, but again, it's very simple. It's and as I said again, you can either do it in root position or you can do it in inversions, whatever makes you feel most comfortable doing. You'll also notice that in the sheet music, it just has like one note, bass notes, which you can do. But I'm always more inclined to do an octave rather than, because it gives it a much fuller sound if you do an octave. But if you're going to do an octave, make sure that these bass notes that are written here, they're the bottom note of the octave. Otherwise, it's just going to be really weird and messy, because you don't want to go down too low. Otherwise, that kind of defeats the purpose. Okay. And then it's alright, it's alright, it's alright, it's alright, it's alright, it's alright. Just get out of the way and then right. Whoops, sorry. That's a little interlude, which is written, so you should just do it. And then the chorus, same thing again, just the octaves, the arpeggiated octaves, so... Oh, not arpeggiated octaves, but you know what I mean. And same thing with your right hand, just a driving feeling. And then what happened was, at the end, I would just, so it'd go, all the way down. The music says, the music wants the rhythm to keep going, but, I don't know, you're finishing the piece, it's better to just kind of taper off. That to fill it in. And that's it. Yeah, really that's about it. And if you go back to my original performance, my original cover of this, in the 50 song challenge, you'll actually be able to hear everything that I'm actually playing. But I guess the best tips would be, if you can, if you can read music and you get the sheet music, that's really good. Look at the chords look at the chords that are actually written, like in the tablature, more than the actual notation. Don't play the melody line, because it's pointless and it's difficult. And Kate Miller-Heidke is really well known for the really weird, syncopated, hard rhythms that are found in the left hand. So yeah, just make up your own stuff, and have a feel at where the accents are in the phrases, because that's where you actually play the chords. So I woke up this morning, made a pot of coffee. So similarly, with your chorus, and I'm gonna ride this feeling as far as it goes, and I'm gonna ride this feeling. I don't know. So it's all in the beginning of each bar. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. But yeah, if you can read music, I strongly recommend getting the sheet music just to figure out where to change the chords with regards to the lyrics. But yeah, you essentially change chord almost every bar so it shouldn't be too difficult. But anyway, I hope that helped. If you have any more questions, please ask, and I will see if I can help more. I'm really sorry that if I didn't. But yes, that's essentially it, and that is the easiest way to play Ride This Feeling. Thanks so much. Bye.